y'all. It's your girl Gemini Jazz with House of Chiron, and we are back with another episode of Galactic Gossip. So thank you once again for being here. Thank you for tuning into my channel. If you are new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you will not miss a beat. You will be up to date on all the things that I upload, the weekly horoscopes or weekly forecast for all the astrology news and all that good stuff, and also anything else that I will be uploading in the coming future as soon as Mercury retrograde is over and done with, right? So if you are returning to my channel, welcome back. Come on in. You already know how it is. You know what the vibe is and all those good things. Thank you for being here. So I hope last week was good and everything went well. And I hope you're ready for this week because we have quite a few things to discuss. We got a lot going on this week, okay? So we're going to get into all of that. But first and foremost, let's dive into these announcements really quickly. We have the House of Chiron Celestial City, where we do monthly Reiki. We get monthly readings based on your signs and your charts and all that good stuff. We have a new moon ceremony that happens every month as well, and so much more. You get webinars, you get documents, you get ebooks, you get PDF files and all kinds of good stuff talking about astrology so you can learn and just have more insight to what's going on, right? So all of that plus more is offered in the Celestial City. And just for the month of October, I am offering 1 month half off. It is currently $33.33 per month, but for the month of October, you can purchase the membership and have it for the first month 50% off, okay? So I just like to add that in there really quickly. Also, we have the Trauma Conscious Yoga Full Moon Healing Circle that happens on October 20th, and that's going to be 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, 4 p.m. Pacific, and 7 p.m. Eastern. So it's going to be a virtual event. You can tune into that. You can also find that link to register for those tickets, as well as the Celestial City and everything else. That's all in the description box below. And I don't think I have anything else to announce as of yet. No. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to dive right on into this week's energy. And we have quite a few things to discuss. As I mentioned before, we have, some regular aspects to the sun and so on and so forth. But we have Jupiter and Mercury both stationed and direct this week. And then we have a full moon in Aries, not to mention the sun is going to enter into Scorpio, amongst many other things that are going on this week. Okay, so let's just get into it. All right. This is going to cover the energy for October 17th all the way through October 23rd. And starting off on the 17th, we have the sun, which is still in the sign of Libra, squaring Pluto in Capricorn. Pluto is now direct. This is happening at 24 degrees. And we all know that the sun in astrology governs our ego and our personality. And so it is more so in alignment to our soul's expression of who we are at our core. And with Pluto being in connection with the sun at this time, got to take into account what Pluto rules. Pluto is the ruler of power struggles and deception, psychology, fear, transformation, control. So when we have a square aspect between these two energies, it's kind of like a struggle between the self in a sense. And also this could bring up power struggles. This could also bring up issues with our ego, within our egos. So there's going to be a tendency to increase our need to control or force our agendas. If we are not the ones doing that, then we could be on the receiving end of that energy. And so the ego in this case can create conflict with others at the time due to feeling threatened, right? And this is going to result in like some intense experiences, okay? Now we could be on defense, even taking a stance on our beliefs, what is fair, what is just in our opinions. And all of these things will come up during the challenge that is going to really be presented by this transit. So the key on this day is to stay aware of those underlying reasons why we feel the need to control a situation or a person or the outcome. Just kind of get to the root of those issues, right? Are these issues rooted, or is this need really rooted in fears that are causing this trauma response? So this is like, what is the underlying reason why you are afraid to allow things to be as they are? You know, the fear of the unknown. Why do we have to feel that we need to be in control of the outcome, right? And it's like, what are we attached to? So that attachment energy is there, and that brings up the Aquarius energy that we still have going on with Jupiter and Saturn being there, right? Jupiter's getting ready to station direct. Saturn just stationed direct, so it brings up that. Okay, so Pluto can also be about abuse. It could be about past life karma, and other things that are hidden can be brought to the surface. So there could be some secrets that come out about others, right? It can come out to the light at this time. So whether it's in society, it's in the public eye, or it's just within our personal lives, right? So this could really show genuinely who people are, and this is going to cause a shift in perception of their reputation, right? Or this could be us on the other end, right? So we could be on the receiving end, kind of witnessing this thing, or on the other end of it, where this is actually us. You know, our reputation is like, I was kind of, you know, that was an energy I was under that I don't want to be under. So you're going to need to kind of have a sense of transformation, or you know, kind of shifting that, right? So the planet, that these planets, how they are expressing themselves, it could really show up and cause us to make those changes, right? The sun is in Libra, and Libra is about fairness. It's here to bring back that balance with that assistance of the transformative energy that's provided by Pluto and Capricorn. So there's something that needs reformation. So things could be brought to the surface that we are unaware of about ourselves that we need to reform in order to prevent further damage, whether it's to our image, our reputation, in our lives, to other people, to society, whatever it might be, whatever comes up. So whether it's like I said, damaged reputation, society, organization, or otherwise, it's something that needs to be brought to the surface in order to make change. Okay, so in the end result, it's all supposed to be for the greater good. So there's that. Now, also happening on the same day as Sun square Pluto, we have Jupiter stationing direct at 22 degrees in Aquarius. Now, October 17th is going to be packed, right? The beginning of this week starts off with a lot of energy. Jupiter is, you know, the largest planet in the solar system. And so Jupiter stationed direct is going to bring what it naturally brings, right? Jupiter is all about optimism and opportunity and abundance and expansion. So that's what we're going to be receiving, right? More of that. And it's, you know, great vibes and fortune and more bountiful opportunities. So when Jupiter begins to move in this forward motion, the great benefic is what we know is going to be trying both the sun and Mars in Libra. So Mars gives us that ambition to get things going, while the sun is providing the courage to go after it all. Now we have positive influence from all of this energy in the cosmos to pursue our endeavors with confidence and courageousness, right? To just kind of go after and have that will in order for us to succeed. Now, highly likely things will result in success. Now, Jupiter in Aquarius is about expanding the community. It's about expanding beyond our comfort zones, right? Doing something that is innovative, that is different than what we're usually you know, doing or used to doing. And so this is going to bring in those networking connections and those opportunities to build that community or to experience those things that we have never experienced before. And this is for the benefit of all parties involved. Now, we have been working well with others, hopefully, in order to bridge that gap and bridge communities and create fairness And now, we can witness the blessings of that work coming out. Now, Jupiter is going to hop back into its ruling sign of Pisces. So I'm not sure if you all remember, Jupiter entered into Aquarius, and then it moved into Pisces this past spring, right before summer started. And then around summertime, it moved back into Aquarius once it went retrograde. Excuse me, got tongue tied. So now it's going to go back into Pisces at the end of 2021. So now we're moving into that forward movement where it's going back into its traditional ruling sign of Pisces. And so this is going to continue throughout 2022. It's really magical times in 2022. So we can begin not only to feel the expansion, but also witness the growth, right? The expansion in our wealth, growth in spirituality, the material possessions, all of those things. Those Aquarian rule themes will then begin to be seen as it progresses forward. Okay, also take into account what this also means, right? Pisces, Aquarius is all about ancient wisdom. And then there's that creativity, then there's that innovation. The spiritual connection becomes the theme of 2022 as we transit this mystical time of Jupiter and Pisces. I'm excited for Jupiter and Pisces. Really excited for 2022 because it's going to be different. So I'm excited to see what it's going to actually look like. I have an idea, we all can have ideas. We all can have our suspicions of what it's going to look like and what's going to happen. But, there's that. So anywho, now moving on, very next day, Mercury stationing direct. That's happening right after Jupiter stations direct. This happens at 10 degrees in Libra on October 18th. So Mercury rules communication, information of all kinds. So communication and information can come back online, right? Mercury has been retrograde, causing all kinds of trouble per usual, and things can begin to make sense once again, hopefully, right? Mercury is finally stationing direct, and it's been retrograde for the third and final time this year. And as we know, it's gone through all of the air signs, first with Aquarius, then Gemini, and then in Libra, and now in stationing direct. So this has been bringing out shifts and reviews of our lives on a mental level. It's been a very mental year. I mean that in so many ways, okay? So now that we have some forward movement in our thoughts, in our perceptions and whatnot, we can begin to really act on these ideas and these plans and the other areas that we've reviewed throughout the retrogrades of this year. So the current retrograde in the balance sign of Libra has really taught us to consider others before action, has also taught us to let go of what has created imbalance, okay? And also to have those tough conversations that we don't really want to have, but they are necessary, okay? Because, sometimes, Libras, they don't like confrontation like that. So it's really taught us that we need to have those conversations that might not feel good, but they are necessary. So Mercury is going to sextile Venus in Sagittarius, and it's going to trine Saturn in Aquarius at the time of this direct motion. So, however, as the areas of communication might not be completely or entirely balanced, the sextile to Venus, is going to assist things with not being as heated or as difficult as it has been. Okay, now Saturn is providing that balance through remaining discipline and using a practical approach to get to the bottom of things. Okay, so all of this is going to bring some balance, and eventually life is going to balance out. The scales will tilt and shift once, this area of life begins to outweigh one another and things begin to kind of like, try and balance itself out. It's natural. Now we can actually see that happening, that Mercury is stationed direct. So the perceptions that we have been developing and reevaluating and experiencing over the time that Mercury has been retrograde, we're going to be able to move forward on those things. Like we've been kind of in like this hold up and review, things coming to the surface. Mercury has been square Pluto for part of this retrograde moment. So the intense emotions, the feeling tired, the lack of being able to get your tasks and duties done and completed, just all the things, secrets coming up. just kind of feeling skeptical about certain things, not really wanting to make a decision on something, or just the intense thought and emotion, just completely always thinking, and it's tiresome. So this is all coming to it's slowing down. It's going to start balancing itself out now that we are having some forward movement. That square to Pluto is going to come up off that square to Pluto as Mercury begins to move forward. And then eventually it will go into the sign of Scorpio in November. So there's a whole nother thing there. But November is going to be interesting, I must say. So that's what we have to look forward to. Now, moving on, also on the 18th, we have Mars, which is in Libra, making a trine to Jupiter in Aquarius, also at 22 degrees. So Mercury is stationed direct, Mars is there, same degree, right? And it's like Mars in Libra it's ambitious for its desires and its goals, just like any other time it's in any other sign. The desire to win and achieve and succeed and whatever endeavors we are seeking at this time will still be there. Now, Libra rules contracts and partnerships, relationships and things of that nature. And Mars indicates how we initiate action. So combining these two energies can result in success. So if we have been weighing our options on something or cannot decide on an opportunity, now is the time to put some decisive action or something in motion in order to move forward to make something happen. It's perfect timing, right? Mercury is finally direct. So if you need to sign a contract or anything, like now's the time to kind of make that plan to do so. Even if it means that it's you taking a risk, it is time to take a risk on something. Mars is doing that, and it's going to give us the support that we need to have a positive outcome, right? Because the confidence and the decisiveness is going to take us a long way with this energy. So keep that in mind that, Mercury is now direct. Mars is here supporting us, is trining Jupiter. So there's going to be something beautiful that comes out of whatever action we take on achieving a goal that we have been pursuing. Okay, so wonderful time to do that. Now, moving on, okay, the big energy of the week. On top of all this direct energy, we have the full moon that is happening in the sign of Aries. Now, this happens on October 20th. Okay, the full moon is going to peak at 27 degrees in the powerfully confident sign of Aries. Okay, we just came from that new moon in Libra where things just got kind of interesting, right? Now, we have this full moon in Aries. And before we dive into the meaning of the moon and, the illumination of it, I'm going to dissect the numerology that's surrounding this energy. Okay, so this moon is going to illuminate at 27 degrees. Okay, 27 equates to a 9. Okay, the number 9 depicts a soul mission, life purpose, and even possibly the ending of a cycle. So in addition to that, the number 9 represents the concept of karma. Being able to understand that. It's also universal knowledge, which makes sense. And also seeing things from a higher perspective. The 9th house is the ruler of consciousness. So all makes sense. So today's full moon possesses the qualities of the number 9 by giving us the ability to confidently see things clearly from a higher perspective and harnessing the powers of a leader, which is conducive to the Aries energy. Okay, so that's a mouthful, but just kind of sit with it. All right. The full moon in Aries is going to form this T square with Mars that's in Libra and Pluto that's in Capricorn. Okay. So that cardinal energy is really insistent on us taking action and sparking some kind of fire or something within. Now, this is not a harmonious full moon. I will say that secrets will become open and they will be revealed. Situations might boil over. Disputes might be at an all-time high on this day because Pluto's energy is going to bring forth power struggles and where we are abusing power and where power has been abusing us in a sense. Who's using their power to abuse us and vice versa, right? So we could witness this in our lives, publicly, in society, however. Okay, so hypothetically speaking, suppose there's like someone or something that is like pushing their agenda on you or on us or whatever. And in this case, we're going to recognize it. And this energy that's happening today is giving us what it is that we need to take a stance on what we feel to be fair. We are going to be in a very protective and defensive mode. That is that Aries and also that Mars and Libra energy. Mars and Libra is going to stand up for what is right, what is fair, right? Libra is also the law. So if it is something about the law that is not right, that is not coming out and fair, that is not just, right, justice, then this energy is going to give us what it is that we need in order to stand for what is right for us. Okay, so in this case, recognizing all of it is going to bring forth any situation that could be really infuriating us, right? And that's going to come to the surface. So if we've been having things kind of bottled up on the inside and not really saying anything or not doing anything, it's a possibility that's just going to come out. Okay, now we all have a choice. We all have many choices to make. So some of us will choose to tap into that Mars trying Jupiter energy, okay, and rise above to gain a higher perspective using the energy of the number 9. On the other hand, there's a chance to react, make hasty decisions, and create our own destruction. Those are for, some of us who are less aware of what's going on. And I don't think that's anybody that's here watching this on my channel, but just keep that in mind, that if it's not us that is not aware of the energy or aware of ourselves, then we could definitely be encountering people who lack that awareness. Okay, so either way, today is the beginning of an end as we embark on a fresh start. So whatever the outcome is of today's energy, just know that all things are happening and all things will turn out for our highest benefit. Okay, with this moon. So practice the pause and stay out of drama. Okay, that's what I will say for this week in general. Okay, although we have some great things going for us, a lot of trines and great aspects to Jupiter, there's still some intense energy that's boiling over, because some of these things, especially when the sun enters into Scorpio, is going to kind of reignite or highlight that Saturn-Uranus square that we've been dealing with all year long. So some of those energies might come back up. Those same situations that we've been dealing with all year, they might come back up. So keep that in mind. Now, after we have this full moon, we have yet another square to Pluto. Mars is going to square Pluto. Mars in Libra square Pluto at 24 degrees on October 22nd. Whew, aren't we tired? Yeah, we are. Okay, so we all know Mars can be pretty aggressive in whatever its approach is, but when it's in Libra, it expresses that aggression only when something is unfair, like I previously stated. Okay, so the square to Pluto in Capricorn seems to be highlighting a lot of power struggles and issues that create confrontations. So another hypothetical, suppose there is like an inherent need for that control of others or the outcome. I gave this one before. In this case, this energy on October 22nd is going to ignite that. It's going to bring it to the surface. Now, it's best to practice patience and restraint in order to prevent these types of behaviors from backfiring on us, okay? If we tend to choose the route of reacting instead of processing and responding whenever, it's time to respond, then our actions can actually backfire us, right? And backfire on us and create like an adverse kind of reaction of what we're doing. So even if we're trying to defend ourselves and we do so in a very aggressive, and if we do it without thought, it could backfire on us. So just take your time. Okay, so on another note, we could utilize this energy to instead pursue our goals in a positive direction, right? Focusing carefully on what the objective is, okay? What is necessary, what we are really trying to pursue, or what we're trying to create, and all those things, okay? So to sum it up, on this day, most of this week, do not go out there starting fights, creating conflict, or reacting to manipulative tactics, because that Pluto energy is potent and people are going to be trying to manipulate with their words, with their actions, trying to create, because Mercury gestation direct, it still does not mean because although it's stationed direct, it still doesn't mean that the perceptions and things are not clear. Like they're still very, things are not, it's not in forward motion completely at its maximum speed. So it's still trying to pick up and gain speed. So things are not back to what they normal, so to speak. Okay. So just be aware of that. Manipulative tactics can be floating around. So it's just best if we take the high road, breathe, practice patience, practice the pause, and concentrate on what is for you to focus on. That's it. Okay. So now Sun is going to move into Scorpio. So this is the start of Scorpio season. Happy solar return to all of you beautiful Scorpios. So I will say that spooky season is here and things are about to be just that, spooky. So as the sun enters into the sign of secrets and intimacy and profound transformation, we are really being invited to see our realities with just that intimate, deep transformation. Look at your reality and see it as that way. Okay, so Scorpio season comes with a few tricks and treats. And this transit, with as the sun transits through Scorpio, is going to progress in so many different ways. So the sun is going to square Saturn and bring back some of those restrictions, highlighting previous frustrations that we experienced throughout 2021. And I'd rather not say what I think it is. I'll just put that out there. It could be a multitude of things. Okay, so with that said, Mars and Mercury will eventually join the sun by moving into the sign of Scorpio. So this is going to be adding passion and understanding to this soulful season. Okay, then Venus is going to move from the sovereign sign of Sagittarius. Say that 5 times real fast. Okay, and then move into stable Capricorn. Okay, so this is just in time for Venus to go retrograde all this winter. Okay, it's going to go retrograde and it's going to have an extended stay in the sign of Capricorn. Okay, so we're really experiencing some thrilling times just in time for Halloween and Dia de los Muertos. So on another note, Scorpio season is going to usher in the eclipse season as well. So this is going to start the eclipse season once the sun moves into Scorpio. So situations and circumstances that have not yet been able to get cut off or finalized, this is their final chance to be gone before moving into the new year during this eclipse season. So keep that in mind. So November and December, we have eclipse. So now with the appropriate awareness, right, we can experience what Scorpio season typically loves to bring, which is a metamorphosis, right? We can shred and shed the old, embrace the new, and develop more resilient skin. Okay, so 2022 is coming very soon. It's vastly approaching on us. So it's time to let some things go and move and embark on a new journey. When you head out, it's always best to pack light. So if there's any baggage that needs to be dismissed, now's the time. Okay, it's always time. All right, now that is all that I have for this week. I hope that this has been wonderful and beneficial and informative for you. Always check the description box below for all the announcements that I mentioned at the very beginning. And I will look forward to speaking with you all next week for the 4th and final week of October. Can you believe it? It's already almost over. It's crazy. Anywho, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye.